shit.
And a wall bang.
Just had a little flair, you know?
Bruh. That was the play of all time.
Yeah, no, that was definitely one of the one of the balk plays of all time for sure. That is a balcony moment. Oh, that's sick.
You know the one?
No way.
No way. I got a win though. 1v3.
Stop, bro. There's no fucking way.
Bro, Nico said I'm not going with the rifle.
For real. That is crazy, man. I don't know what's happened lately, but I feel like all these pro matches that have been played, they feel so buggy. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that in like, it's just like back and forth game duels that are just so clean. We're seeing a lot of really great shots.
Yeah. No view of the game. Looks like we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Lacey Cup 2 here in Lacey, Washington. As we get this round started, this matchup today, we do have Rain Above taking on In for Blood for the first matchup of the day. As you can see, we are on Inferno. This is a BO3 series, so we have plenty of match to play. Getting it started early into the pistol round, it seems like we're going to be left off to a 1v1 that takes a battle to mid. It will be in favor of Rain Above, and so I am joined by my co-caster here, Goober, who's going to be providing some good old analysis. How are we doing today, Goober?
Doing absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Expo. Really excited to see what some of these teams are going to bring to the table. Right now, we have a really exciting matchup between Rain Above and In for Blood. In for Blood, kind of the new kids on the block here, a local pug team looking to get some experience on land for the first time against actually the returning core of the victors of Lacey Cup 1. And so definitely a little bit of an opportunity here to gain some experience on the field for In for Blood.
Absolutely. It's really important that they get their feet wet, try to get some action going, especially against a VRS team like it's all a matter of whether they can meet that pressure or fall off the scenes. Right now, it looks like it's just a go for In for Blood, so pretty easy going for Rain Above. They're going to find themselves two to start off this Inferno.
Yeah, so far pretty basic stuff. Rain Above, one on the way with a pistol round, and then you get the second round conversion. It looks like now In for Blood is going to be buying up a little bit. 3-4 AKs now, and it looks like John 64 waiting to see what he's coming through there. But looks like we're entering our first gun round with a few, actually, 3 saved MP9s on that CT side. Early default coming out from In for Blood here, sending a couple players up that alt mid, and a really fast action happening. Banana, Colin already pushing down, finding Cypher.
Back and forth indeed, and already it looks like the advantage goes in favor of Rain Above, and it's going to go further with Cercera getting himself a double kill. Already starting off with the multi on the first gun round, leaving it all up to the double 64 and John and Hogan, trying to see if they can cause some avenues to open up, but instead Swayu's going to close that door immediately in the apartments, leaving it all up to John in the 1v4. And only 2 players low HP, but it doesn't matter because Dupe is going to let him know that I'm right here to take some shots, and we'll get that third. Easy stuff for Rain Above to start.
Absolutely, and you can't really ask for a better start here for Rain Above. They bonused those MP9s perfectly. They used the speed and aggression to find some early picks and upgrade those players into AKs now. And so now the CTs are going to be sitting on a really nice economy. They're going to have a couple of rounds to play around with here, even if they do end up dropping some rounds.
Yeah, it's really important that they really keep the effort and keep the pace in, especially, you know, it's going to get rough. Being on the worser side of your map pick here on Inferno, yeah, it's going to feel like things are going to get claustrophobic, especially against a team that's great. But you got to meet that pressure, and good shot on Hogan, able to find Dupe on the Deagle. He's going to be able to grab that op as well. So Hogan now boasting the op, so a big weapon upgrade there, and let's see if they can find some more. Hunter still looking around, and we'll find Sway Yu. Now a 5v3. The pistol's actually doing work, better than the weapons in the last round. Cercera, though, here on the scene, trying to keep things at bay. We'll only get one, though, before the trade comes in by Hunter. Bomb will go down to 4v2, and in Inferno, chances are no retake.
Yeah, oh my goodness. These pistols are absolutely doing work for the In for Blood side right now. Just down to Jester. He does
Jester,
find 2.
Yeah, indeed. Able to find 2. Now in the 1v2 here. And with low HP, though, on the grenade should make it a lot easier for this In for Blood side to get around, and they will do so. So In for Blood get themselves around on the board. You would imagine that's going to boost their confidence a bit.
Absolutely, especially this early in the game. You really want to try and make it known that you're here to fight, right? Especially against a more experienced team in the land setting. You know, maybe a little bit of a misread there. It looked like a couple of 1v1s against those pistols were taken, but really, really excellent job from In for Blood to capitalize on that. And now they're back again with some guns up, and it looks like we're going to be in a full gun round on both sides now.
Yeah, I mean, there's no better confidence than just hitting a couple of deagle shots against the guns, right?
Absolutely. And I mean, as much as we talk about the experience of these two teams. There are absolutely a lot of talent in those players on In for Blood's side right now. I think it showed that last round how they were able to open up that A site with just Deagles. So now it looks like a little bit early Banana aggression starting out, getting that utility up there, and it'll actually gain them access to the car area, pushing those CT back all the way to B site.
Pretty standard stuff so far. It looks like the default. And one thing that's very important on Inferno, like I said, things can get claustrophobic really fast, so it's best that you get the positioning as soon as possible. And right now, within 30 seconds, they already have Banana, and they're about to take bracket completely. But Sarah has been doing well on this lane position to get some kills back in favor of Rain Above. Jester able to find one towards that Banana position, now leaving it to a 5v3, a dastardly 5v3, and all that's left are the 64s on the names. It's John Hogan and Cypher to try to save things here for In for Blood.
Yeah, slowing things down a little bit. Hogan gets good, finds one Sarah on the quad push, excuse me, and Dupe now holding for the apps push. We are just waiting for these last two players. Yeah, creeping up that mid side. It looks like the CTs are going to be walking away with this one.
Ooh, but the punish comes in, but Colin will be able to trade out his teammate. So you trying to get a little aggressive, gets punished, but either way, they will get the round. It's 4 for Rain Above, and so far, it seems like things are going the way that they should be for Rain Above. I mean, after all, being on the better side, and, you know, Inferno just being this claustrophobic mess, if you don't end up getting a lot of those kills, if you start getting whittled down during the beginning of the round, it becomes harder for your exit.
Absolutely, and, you know, that's kind of the caveat on maps like Inferno here, where the CT side is just generally the more preferred side. And you'll notice, too, that we're going to see a lot of early aggression at these sort of choke points here. Like you said, this can be a very claustrophobic map, and so teams are really going to be trying to fight for that space early on. And Banana is one of the big ones on this map, obviously.
Absolutely.
And so it's going to be really important to see how these sides try and fight for that space. Again, pistols here for the side of In for Blood. It looks like it's going to be cleaned up pretty quickly by the CTs. Hunter does find one onto Swayu, but that's going to be the 5th round for Rain Above.
Yep, this time the Deagles can't find a kill, unlike that one very special round that they were able to get. That is the only round so far that they've gained. As you can see, leading the way, Sarah having a game so far, 9-3 on the scoreboard. Obviously, there's somebody higher in the KD department, but that doesn't matter. The kills is what matters. So right now, Rain Above able to meet the expectations of what we expect from a top team. Keep in mind, a VRS team, which means that they're ranked globally 246, I believe, in the world, and 78th in America. So meeting those expectations and looking to show in the faces of In for Blood what they're about. And already Colin gets it started early before getting punished on the trade by Cypher. It's a 4v4 with only 20 seconds, I would say, left or given off on the round so far. But I would imagine Rain Above will be able to respond well.
Yeah, now down to the 4v4, and we can see things across the map really starting to slow down. It looks like In for Blood is starting to move towards this A site a little bit heavier. A little bit of a team flash coming out there as they set up for some of these util set pieces.
Look, we're in an A. I mean, after all, you're going to see a bunch of these moments, and I would imagine, especially with a team like that has nerves kind of pulsing through them, this is what happens. But right now, John, able to take down Sarah, who's been very successful in this lane position, as we mentioned, leading the scoreboard so far, but getting taken down on a bit of an off angle, now leaving it a 4v3 here for In for Blood. And they look like they want to punish this one soul Opper, but the Opper going to stand his mark already, able to get a kill. Swayu was able to find one towards the other side of the map, so advantage back in Rain Above, and they're going to need to push the site eventually. 35 seconds on the clock. There's not a lot of time to waste into this exec, and Duke really wanted to play with this, but wants to also play with his teammate. That's Jester peeking wide, but gets punished on the wide swing. Hunter Cruiser, headshot to the brain. Now Duke in position, misses the shot, is going to allow the Hunter to get into a position, a better position for cover. And you see that rotation coming in from Swayu.
Are they going to be ready for it?
No, yeah, that's the real question, but it looks like not looking the right way, and it will come in. Swayu, even the low HP, doesn't matter. Hunter, though, with a great headshot onto the upper, leaves it on the 1v1, and Hunter Cruiser with the clutch, able to get one back for In for Blood. A big clutch needed when needed most.
Absolutely. Huge motivation right there for the side of In for Blood. Crazy 1v2 to come out there at the end. You looked like that flank was maybe going to come back to bite them in, after they get that bomb down, but really, really well played by Hunter there in order to get the trade and find that round for his team. And now you're going to see that the CTs, their economy is starting to look a little bit more shaky, because as much as they've been winning these rounds, they've had to rebuy into it a few times now. And so the Ts are going to be in a much happier spot trying to go into this one, because if they shut it down, they have an opportunity to really start getting some rounds back here.
I mean, if you think about it, the CT side economy it can really whittle down so easily. It's a really expensive journey whenever you're dealing with the CT side, and if you start losing a lot of those ecos, for example, like we saw in the first round that Infrablood won, it tends to hurt a lot of the CTs a lot more. So we could see a lot more of that, but it's going to be hurt even more when you keep losing weapons like that. Duke once again getting white swung into the angle and already down for the count of 5v4 in favor of Infrablood, and even more damage done to Sway Yu is going to make it a lot harder for this defense.
Yeah, John's done well to make sure that those last 2 rounds have had some openers for that T side. And again, we're going to see 3 towards this A site for the side of Rain Above. Again, a very, very, very good hold so far on that A side. And I guess we'll see how Infrablood tries to take advantage from this 5v4 situation that they find themselves in. It looks like they will be leaning, again, that pressure towards that A site.
Low
and
HP.
it looks like,
Flash.
yep.
Oh, nice flick on there, able to take down Sway Yu. He was low HP, but doesn't matter. The kill would be found. I'm surprised Cercera missed that, but Cercera getting white swung doesn't matter. Gets another kill, ducks right under the box, and Collins there for support. So early defense, able to do well, but with 2 noted, that means only one thing can happen on the B site. That's one person, and that's true. It's Jester to defend this site. Another smoke being dissipated as well, so that's going to allow to buy more time for Jester to not only get into a better position, but potentially have teammates come in. And as you can see on that A site, they are pushing lane, so all the info is there. They know that it's the B site, especially with another smoke being thrown by the T side. The bomb plant will come in. It's a 2v3 with 2 players coming from the flank, but Jester able to find Chase in no man's land, and Cypher's going to have to put the aggression. He needs to fight one of these 1v1s, and he will find that 1v1 on the Jester, but with knowledge, it should be easy close out for Rain Above. They will do so. They find 6.
Yeah, Infrablood does really well there to read that. The A site has 2 players on it, and so they rotate immediately to go towards the weaker defended site. But again, Rain Above, again, the very, very good at clearing out that A site, making sure that has been cleared. And yeah, I mean, you have to look at players right now like Cercera, who are just having an absolutely amazing game, holding it down for their team. And Infrablood absolutely has a tough few rounds ahead of them.
Yeah, I mean, if the lane player is playing lights out like that, you kind of feel like you only have one route, and that's B. And unfortunately, on B site, there's only one way to get into B unless you want to go for an arch cross, but that's not available when lane keeps killing you every single round. And so this time now, they want to go for a pace change. They want to fight it head on into that arch position. 4 players sent in. They went for a double play onto App, so this is open. Now, will they be able to respond to this as Cercera onto the scene, not on lane, but this time in arch, will find a couple of T's and even a team kill. So Cercera getting benefited, a headshot found as well, 4v2. And now Sway Yu noted up from the ass position. He'll get his one hideout and let his teammates do the rest of the work. Nades will fall, but it doesn't matter. It looks like they'll be able to clean up this last T on the site. The Cypher's in the 1v4, but nothing can be gathered, especially when that necessary defense and 1 team kill come in the way of Rain Above. They will find 7.
Yeah, you like you were saying, when you have a player who is just so strong on that lane position like Cercera has been, it feels like you really do only have that one lane to go. And Infrablood does really well there to change up the pace and find a lot of space on the arch side. But again, it's just the calling from Rain Above to have those players rotate in when they do. And not only that, but having Cercera be that anchor, be that rock that you absolutely need him to be in those situations, it just becomes so incredibly difficult for Infrablood to find anything, even though they already have all of that space granted to them. And so really excellent round. But John, again, finding these openings just over and over.
At this point, stop buying guns, start buying deagles, and make them work. But this time, Sway Yu says, nah, you're only getting away with 1 at the minimum. And they close out. This should be a done deal. Chase alone with a Tech 9, and Sway Yu will fight from distance, eating up the eco frags. A 4K from Sway Yu, getting higher on the board, now matching his fellow teammate in Cercera, and 8 is now found for Above.
Yeah, and now something I would like to point out too is the scoreline maybe doesn't show it, but you have to keep in mind a few of these rounds have been a little bit close. We've obviously had Infrablood. They've won a couple of clutch rounds now, and that's how they've gotten on the board. But there have been a few rounds too where it's been down to 1 or 2 players on that CT side in the post plant, where it's just maybe 1 or 2 more kills, and that's a round in favor of Infrablood. So I think as they sort of get over the early land jitters here, I think we start to see them clean up their play a little bit more. And yeah, early pick from Chase there, finding Colin does well to do that. Now the B site's going to be weakened. You can already see that Rain Above is calling in for a double rotate. Yeah. They do not want to give them any opportunity to punish a slightly weaker B site.
Felt really ambitious to go for that peak and try to take banana control back, but it looks like they do want to take it back as Chase is holding here. They're going to set up a pop flash. It's Dupe sending it over, and
this.
boom, off goes the dynamite. And there you
That's
go.
perfect.
Instant clearance. That's some good old-fashioned global ranking team play right there. Set up the pop flash, and 2 players get on the board. Now, there is this response coming in from Arch with Swayu playing this awesome angle here on top of the planks and able to get a free one there. No contest as well. Everyone's too far to trade, and Dupe wants some more. Ooh, got to be
Bit of
very
an awkward
careful.
timing, but the
smoke
nade.
move, and what a find there as well. Hunter will find a kill on towards that A side, but the bomb is down, and Dupe gets himself the double. The multi-kill from the op when needed. It is 9 for Rain Above, last round of the half.
Wow, just a really incredible way to fight Banana and take
Jesus.
that space again. That was just so stellar. The pop flash, everything, it worked out wonderfully for the side of Rain Above, and then they collapse in on that A site to finish up the last couple of players as they come in. And man, these players are just absolute rocks right now in their positions. They do not want to budge and give any of these sites away. It has just been really stellar so far from Rain Above.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if they had their coach with them right now. He would have been giving them hard fist bumps for such team play there. But Molly's able to find a lot, so the util doing work.
And they don't check it.
Tried and cooked, but only the one and done. Hogan able to trade back efficiently. And so a 2v3 on the cards. They take the B site with force, with conviction. But with little players left, the advantage still in Rain Above, but the bomb will be planted soon enough. There is a flank coming in from Dupe to try to dupe this offense here. But going to settle themselves into their positions, try to make this retake happen. And Hunter hitting heads when needed, and he will get another kill there. 2v2 here in this retake. Taking their time, though. They want to wait for the smoke to get away. They will get away eventually. Hogan now noted up, only 7 HP, and he's going to get mollied out. So Hunter needed to for some heroics. One there, but the trade comes in just in time. Swayu will get on the defuse. It looks like double digits will be to Rain Above.
Fantastic first half from Rain Above. They are going to be happy walking away with 10 rounds there, obviously 8 rounds above. And yeah, got a little bit more excuse me, got a little closer than I think they wanted to there on that final round, but they absolutely had every advantage they needed going into that. 3v2 goes down to a 2v2, but they still have plenty of utility, and they just play well off the double peaks, and they find that last player and get the bomb defused. And now I'm interested to see how In for Blood is going to treat their CT side.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you're down that much, pretty much giving you a spanking on the CT side. Now you get on the defense, and you're hoping to just hold as well as Rain Above were able to. One thing I can only look at right now is 30 kills between Cercera and Swayu within 12 rounds. That is insane and diabolical work from both of them, and they came here to play. I mean, you can tell that this is a team that is, especially with players that won the previous Lacey Cup as well. We're talking about Swayu, Colin, and Dupe, who were a part of that Colin's auto exec team that won the last Lacey Cup, and now coming back with an org backing them up as well, and with a couple better players as well. You would imagine getting with an org will improve your chances in terms of the skill gap, and you could tell it's making the mark as Cercera already able to find the first kill in the round. Hogan able to even it back onto that one lurker, but it looks like the B hit will be coming soon. Smoke will land towards CT, and they're just going to give it up. It's a 4v4.
Yeah, very, very early. Rotates coming in as the bomb goes down onto this B site. All the CTs are finally starting to collapse in as they try and clean this round up, but it looks like Rain Above is going to try and run away with this one here as well. And now this is where I think it gets interesting for the CT side as they go for this retake here. If they get it, obviously they're going to be happy with that, and they're going to buy into the next and try and get the second round conversion. But Swayu is going to try and do his best to make sure that that doesn't happen here, as he does find Hogan coming from the CT position, but John trades him out. Colin and Dupe finds 2, cleans it up. And yeah, like you were mentioning, Dupe, Swayu, and Colin all coming in from that last winning team from Colin's auto exec, and now they're backed by not only the org, but they have a couple of new players. They have to be feeling really, really confident going into this this event right now, especially knowing sort of what they have previously brought to the table.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, especially when you're playing a lot of those higher end teams, you then develop yourself into a better team. And against teams that are, you know, not maybe, they don't have the experience. They're a bunch of puggers who do really well in those pugs. It becomes a lot easier. It becomes a lot simpler. The team play is there. You can kind of tell. And right now, it's just a wrecking ball onto the In for Blood side. And already, it's match point for this first map. Now, keep in mind, this is Inferno. This is In for Blood's map pick. So next up will be Rain Above's. Who knows if they'll do better than this, but right now, this is a stomping.
Well, let's just give them the benefit of the doubt, right? They haven't been on land before together as a team. This is their first time to actually be here and experience this. And so, after this first map, I think we're going to see them regroup just a little bit and try and figure out what they can do in order to make that second map go a little bit better. Right now, though, it looks like this is going in the way of Rain Above.
I mean, one thing you could look forward to, Mirage, next up for Rain Above. Some may say the pug map of all time.
I do constantly say that.
Yeah.
I think that's where the best Counter-Strike is played. It's been played to death at this point.
Yeah,
so you really get to see where everyone is at as a player on
I
that.
mean, surely, especially when you're playing pretty much Face It all the time, you would imagine that map is going to have a lot more fortune for them. But right now, still keeping things alive. John was able to find the kill onto Cercera, trying to leak through that Apps position. But they still want to hit at this defense. And it is only going to be Hogan. Oh, or Hunter actually peeking into it. Actually, a very ambitious peek. Will get punished by Dupe. So 4v4, they gave the advantage completely back to Rain Above. And now it's evened up. And right now, it looks like the B attack will be coming in shortly. Chase, good timing on the peek. Able to take down Colin. Watching for the angle does not matter. But the hit will be coming here. And there's still 50 seconds. So there's a lot of time to just say, you know what? A might be the better route.
Yeah, but it looks like all of those T players have started to move their way over to that B site, and it looks like a little bit of a boost is happening right now to try and get over this smoke, but they might cancel that. And it looks like, they're setting up for that set.
Hogan. Oh, Hogan noted now, though, but that's a lot of info there.
Absolutely.
That should pretty much give it up, and you send your rotation over. Yes, there's enough time, but come on. The bomb is there. All the utils being thrown. You have to rotate at this point. There's only 2 players here to try to guard, but now it's only 1 as Jester able to land the wall bang headshot. Cypher on the MP9. We've seen magic happen in the first Orange's position with an MP9. Able to get away with a 2. Pretty much the most you can get away with. Jester on 15 HP. It's got to be pure headshots to try to clutch it up, and it's going to be a tough one. Smoke is going to at least help for a little bit of time, but now he's going to have to settle himself into the proper position, but together, which is the smarter play for the 64s here from both sides.
They do want to peek together here. Jester has really backed himself into a corner as the CT starts slowly clearing this site. Jester finds the first.
No
he doesn't
way.
know.
He doesn't know. Wait, no, surely he does. He has to know about it, and now he does. The panty drops, and just wasting time as much as possible. Isn't enough, though. Kit will be found on Hogan, and I think it just landed right on time. So we do have some more play to go as Hogan able to clutch it up at the very last few seconds of the round, and so we keep fighting here.
Yeah, you win the round, but you don't get the siren for blood right now because you have to remember you can't drop any rounds past this point if you want to try and walk away with this map. But again, I want to look at some of the individual plays there. Cypher doing really well to find 2 on that B push and that really late B take, and so he actually makes that possible for his team to find that round, and now we get to go into another round of play.
Yeah, some may say if he doesn't get those 2, if he only gets even 1, then chances are we would be seeing Mirage coming up next, but instead we got another round of play. Okay! Hunter going for the repeat on the scout says, you know what? It doesn't matter. I still got confidence. I still got fight in me. And still fighting forward, though. Cercera making it work with the sawed-off here. A very unorthodox weapon to bring out in competitive play. But, you know, sometimes we just like to have some fun. And that's going to be a big cash injection. I don't think it would really matter in terms of whether they win, obviously, because there wouldn't be any more match. But at least if they lose a round, a big one there. Upgrades to the M4 and finds another kill onto the A site. Hunter will put him down, but I think at this point the panty drops on B.
Swayu finding 2. What an incredible entry from him, and they're going to smoke deep CT and try to keep this site hold. And that's going to be Swayu finding 3 in the round, and that is going to be the first map going to Rain Above.
Rain Above, making sure to clean things when it matters most, try to keep things under control for the time being. They settle it down, and so 13-3 will read the score line here. Rain Above taking away the map pick of In for Blood. We're going to take a quick break. When we do come back, it will be map number 2, which will be Mirage, so stay tuned.
Hello, everybody, and what an incredible map one from Rain Above on Inferno. I gotta say, that was an incredible performance from them. They had an crazy game. Individual performances from Swayu and Colin, our previous 2-time tournament champions. Really great stuff from them. And next, I want to get your thoughts. What did you think about that Game 1 performance?
Yeah, I mean, it was great. Swayu absolutely delivered. He played as you would expect, given his track record at these events. Hunter on the other side, he put up a good opposition. Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, In for Blood kind of just got washed. And with the next map pick being Reigns, it's going to be an uphill battle for sure.
For sure, and I have to say, it was super, super interesting seeing the T side from Rain Above there. A couple of rounds were a bit closer than in the first half, so that was kind of interesting to see, and we saw even at the very end there were some clutch moments from In for Blood players. So hopefully Map 2 will get a closer game, and we'll have a little bit more of a back and forth, and maybe we'll get a 13-11, maybe we'll get an overtime. I wanted to ask you really quick, so far in this series, who are you most excited to see play?
I mean, I already kind of mentioned Hunter. I think he's definitely a standout player on In for Blood. I think for them to have a really good chance, he needs to put up really good numbers. And the Inferno, it's definitely promising from him. I think if he can be set up really well for Mirage, then they have a really good fighting chance.
Totally. And I wanted to give a quick shout out as well to Colin, as it's his birthday today, playing at our LAN event at the Lacey Cup 2. So happy birthday to him. And also wanted to quickly say for Rain Above, they actually just got VRS, which is a very, very big deal. They are one of the best teams in North America, and they just proved it last weekend, I believe, right, at Frag Mega Jersey?
Yeah, they were playing the likes of M80, Energy, very experienced first teams.
Yeah, and I wanted to give a quick shout out as well to In for Blood for those of us that are a little bit unfamiliar with them. They're actually a veteran team comprised of players that have been playing for almost 2 decades now. And actually, there's a duo, a father-son duo on In for Blood. It's an incredible story. We're super excited to see them in Game 2 playing together. And overall, I got to say, even if that Map 1 wasn't as close as maybe we'd like, I think Map 2, they're going to have that fire in them to want to take at least a few more rounds off Rain Above.
Absolutely.
All right, well, we are going to be heading into game number 2 very soon. We thank everybody for watching the stream. Special shout out to our sponsors, Hellcase, Contender Esports, and Face It for making this event all possible. And we'll be with you guys shortly.
And we are live. Welcome back. We are on map 2 of match 1 at the Lacey Cup 2, and we are brought to beautiful Sandy Mirage, and it looks like we're going to be starting with our last winning team on the T side, Rain Above, starting off early with some mid-aggression.
Indeed, it looks like just good old classic default here. Wait for any contact, maybe someone getting aggressive, but nothing will be the case. But here they go wide and about. They're going to send themselves with a smoke towards Con, and they're going to pop right through it. So we will be seeing that hit soon enough. And there we go. The HUD's all good to go. We're good to go. And the hit's coming quick and fast onto the A site. Only player providing defense there playing retake is going to be Hunter Cruz. With that info, is going to play it back, wait for numbers to come about, but already a player in jungle yet getting taken down. Sarah not able to live up to the task. Colin, though, one found with the lurk, but will get traded out evenly, but it's all in for blood as they do find the kills. No, actually, that's going to be Rain Above on that T side as they do find the kills. They will find the round here. It will be Rain Above taking the first round. We're switching that up, but there you go. Rain Above take the first.
Absolutely textbook pistol there. Really love that team play, running 4 through Con and then having Colin stay there in mid to watch for any late rotates, actually finding one player out of the smoke, and then I believe another one coming out of the window in jungle there. So really excellent round from them. They're going to be super happy with that, and they're going to try and get the second round conversion. Hopefully we get to see a little bit more action from the side of In for Blood on this map. Again, like we were talking about last game, Mirage, a little bit more of a played map. Definitely a little puggier maybe in some people's opinions.
Yes.
But I definitely think we are going to see some really exciting Counter-Strike happening here as Jester finds 2 middle, and it looks like the A site will be going down to the T side. Cypher trying to put up as good of a fight as we can, and it's now just down to Hogan with a P2000 flanking from T-spawn.
Yeah, pretty much going to be as expected. Pretty much similar to what happened on Inferno. Just an easy 2-rounder for Rain Above. They will find that plant. Got to be very careful to make sure to not leave the bomb site unoccupied, especially if Hogan wants to go for a 10-second, but they do with the pistol, so clean stuff from Rain Above. And for those of you tuning in, as you can see, Rain Above currently leading the series 1-0, as Inferno, the pick of In for Blood, did not go their way. In fact, it went the opposite way, 13-3 in favor of Rain Above. And I mean, the story was just Sarah cleaning up the A side, Swayu able to make some work and do pretty much working on the op. And it looks like Swayu wants to get a little bit ballsy here, picking up the PP Bison, trying to let In for Blood know that, hey, I can do it with whatever weapon he can. So let's see if he can make it happen. It's Hogan providing defense here, and it's going to be a fast B attack, a team knife as well. And all the damage done is well enough for John to keep things at bay. Duke, though, doubles it back up. Only 1 HP, but he is able to open up onto the site. Cypher pushing forward, and the NP9 finds the headshot. Call it in the 1v3 now, and we'll find one down. 2 more to go. It's going to be Hunter and Chase to try to save things here for In for Blood.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of an interesting choice there coming from Swayu with the PP Bison pick. 64 bullets, quite a bit of ammo, but they don't do much damage, so maybe hoping to find some helmetless CTs there. But John absolutely goes huge there, finding 3 on the B site, holding it down for the side of In for Blood, and they get their first round here, and potentially maybe looking to be a little bit more of a competitive game this time around.
Yeah, I mean, they need 2 more rounds to pretty much even up the amount of rounds that they had on Inferno, which, again, was pretty much an Inferno of many for Rain Above as they cleaned house there. And now Mirage, like we mentioned, In for Blood, a bit of this more puggier team. They got the skill for it, but it's all individualistic. It's not really in the team setting after all. Their first land, it's going to be a lot tougher against a team like Rain Above that has that experience constantly. We mentioned 78th in the Americas VRS, so highly ranked team, a much tougher opposition to deal with. So got a lot to prove here, but it's going to make it a lot tougher when you don't have that experience. And it looks like A site will be the hit coming in for Rain Above. Couple stragglers, but nonetheless, it's going to be Chase to provide coverage. Cypher gets in early, but gets taken down, and they do clear out Chase actually towards that ninja position. So already a 5v3. Bomb going to get planted. The smoke's still up. Makes it harder for the CT side. You would imagine, ooh, and with Swayu getting another one on the rotator, this should be a third for Rain Above.
Absolutely. With Rain Above, still 5 players on the board now, make it a 1v4. They're going to be exiting that round with a lot of their economy still intact. Not many people needing to rebuy into that one, so a really excellent default from them that round. Just some really textbook Mirage happening on the side of Rain Above right now.
And we're going to be seeing the pistols come out for In for Blood as their economy is now down in the dumps. But we've seen a lot of magic happen with the eco, We did see that very impressive Deagle round that happened to get their first round on Inferno.
Absolutely.
But it's a lot harder on the Eco, especially on Mirage. I would say it's not as easy to really take over. I mean,
My goodness.
Jesus. Okay, Sway was blind for days. Good old Ray Charles simulator, and you could tell how much dastardly work it was to try to take him out. It needed 5 Infra Blood 5-7s and pistols to work that out. But either way, Rain Above just say, let's go the other way. Let's send it to B. They get the bomb plant 4v5 here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Infra-Blood try and make this site take happen. It looks like they are going to be trying to stack up some of their players towards the market position. Maybe not quite going for it, but trying to find some stragglers. Not too for sure at the moment. They do have 1 AK saved right now on John, and it looks like he is going to try and do his best to stay away from the initial engagement, maybe let some of his pistol-wielding teammates take those fights ahead of him. But as it stands right now, Rain Above, they found 5 players on A site. They went to the free B site. They have the bomb down. It looks like they're going to walk away with this one. Maybe even 5 CTs surviving.
Why are Colin and Jester still sticking around with the AKs is the question. They're going to die to the bomb easily. So a lot of weapons being given up completely, and the op might find its way out of the hands as well if he can't find this kill. We'll stay away from the fight. Got to be very careful to not let the op go in the wrong hands, so able to keep it alive. But a very chaotic start and finish leads to Rain Above getting 4.
Yeah, not very often you see 5 CTs on one player's screen all in A main, but definitely an interesting start. Not uncommon to see those pistol stacks start with a ramp push on the CT side of the Mirage here.
Imagine the call. It's just like, there's 5, there's 5.
Go B, go B.
Go B, go B. Just yelling it out. I mean, even if you're a top team, you'll probably be yelling up that sword. But right now, having to yell things out is Chase, as he's getting bombarded by a bunch of teams, able to get one. Not able to get one. Hunter, though, able to get one before getting traded out. And you can see even that's going to be Colin pushing towards that jungle position. Great positioning here. As they take full CT control, this should be an easy T take for the Rain Above side. Colin now noted up towards that jungle position. It's going to get claustrophobic, and it will be Cercera multi-killing once again. A 3K on that part. And Rain Above continued the streak.
Rain Above doing a really excellent job right now of showcasing how that T side can really control the pace of these maps. I mean, you can kind of seen through the last few rounds, they haven't really stayed with a really aggressive or slower play style. They are defaulting super well. Obviously, that last round, it looked like their plan was to hit A as fast and as hard as they could, and they did it well. They had the site taken. They found the kills on site. They actually even find the one player who's holding stairs through the smoke, and so they immediately have that full site control, and they push a player into jungle, and they start taking CT space. Just really stellar stuff coming from the side of Rain Above. And now we see the players on the CT side for Infra Blood. They're down to those pistols again. But what we talked about is how we do know that these players can find a lot of impact with these deagles. And hopefully Hunter on the ladder does find him.
All right. Jesus, getting away with a lucky one there, but Sway will put him out for the count. Jester even pushes himself from his lurk position through to A, and it looks like the bomb plant will come down. Should be a done 6 for Rain Above, but man, like you said, I felt a little bit of magic coming in. It came the way of the floating deagle, but not able to get enough to salvage a round, so it's just damage control at this point. Try to see if you can get a couple of those weapons out of the hands. It's not in the best economy right now for Rain Above. You can see the numbers on Sway, Colin, Jester, around that 2,600 or less, so got to be very careful with these engagements. Make sure to not lose weapons. They don't. They take out all the CTs. Rain Above gets 6.
Yeah, I do like that you bring that up. Obviously, we think about back to that round when they took the B site and they actually had some not economically the most sound decision, but
yeah.
You can see now they are recovering from that a little bit. But just keeping in mind how much it costs for these players, even when they're winning rounds, to rebuy into them. And so I think if you're on the side for Infra Blood at this point, if you aren't putting up rounds, what you should really be trying to do here is just do as much economic damage as you absolutely can in order to try and level that playing field for your players. And so we've had a couple of really standout players so far, like Hunter, who's been really trying to hold up his side of the side of the map, excuse me, and it's just really good pop flash, and he's gonna again find one there on A main on Swayu.
I heard the chat for a second. I think that was a nice S or NS or maybe an NF, maybe nice flash, but that was a pretty solid one. Able to get themselves an advantage, which is something that, I was hoping to see a little bit more from Infra Blood. After all, You can't allow yourself to turtle yourself into a site and just hope for the best against a team like Rain Above, who have protocols down. They know how to clear sites efficiently. These are things that you have to have protocols down. Sarah, though, and Jester break through like it's nobody's business. Just like that, the A site defense taking out. You thought that the most reinforced site was going to be okay to be able to defend, but instead, Rain Above that defense.
Absolutely. Rain Above doing well to find those entries into the site, and then you have the player coming out Palace last minute in order to catch those other A site players off guard, and it just works out in their favor perfectly. And now it's down to a 1v4 with just Hogan remaining, and yeah, it looks like it's going to be a 7th round going to the side of Rain Above. What I do like, and what I would like to point out, is that we have seen Infrablood. They've tried to respond to how they're playing. Obviously, it seems so far like it's been a little bit more of an alien on the side of Rain Above, but what I would like to see maybe a little bit more of is some early round aggression, maybe trying to fight for some space. Obviously, we've seen them have some success on that A main peak. They've done it twice now, once with pistols, once with guns. I think if we can kind of see that a little bit more around the rest of the map, maybe in middle or even maybe in B apps, we might see a little bit more success from the side of Infrablood. But as it currently stands, I think Rain Above, they've just been walking away with it.
Yeah, they need to try for something to make them uncomfortable. Right now, the most comfortable of them all on Rain Above right now is Dupe, 7-1. He's been wielding the op for quite some time, really leading the way so far, not really having to put too much of his chips in, especially since all he's needed is to finish the round, and so doing so well in so. And once again, it looks like they're just pace changing all over the board, and T's just taking them down left, right, and center. CTs don't even know where to look, because right now Rain Above is just going all over the map and taking their fights when needed best. And they're succeeding, and already a 5v2, 10 HP on Chase, but a headshot will land, leaves it all up to Hogan. Once again, I feel like we've been seeing him in a lot of these 1vx situations, but in very losable spots. And look at that line pretty much drawn up by Rain Above from A site at Fire all the way to B site on B apps. This is pretty much a dead round.
They absolutely have the entire map locked down for Rain Above right now, and Hogan, you know, unfortunately, life of the B anchor, when A site keeps getting hit over and over again, you're going to spend a lot of time in these situations where you're just kind of sitting and waiting. He does well to find Colin there, and it does look like he's going to be creeping up, trying to relocate so he does not get found out. I do think he does get cleared here. Let's find out.
Oh.
He doesn't. He finds Dupe down to a 1v2. I don't think this is winnable for him, but he's going to do his best to get as much damage as he can out of this round.
That was pretty decent pop flash, at least.
Absolutely.
At the minimum, to try to keep yourself alive, but you know, with two players looking at you, you can only hope for the best. But right there, Rain Above just showing how great they are, just showing how much power they hold on the server. After all, this is a team that has been competing in major tournaments, like not major tournaments, but in the region, major tournaments such as Frag and Dust 2, that US Eagle Masters, playing a lot of these big events where a lot of the better teams show up. So a lot of this experience from Rain Above is going to show right now, and for a team that's really having a tough time trying to be able to get the land jitters out of the way, you can tell that it's hurting them a lot more than it's helping. And as they find the first pistol kill, it looks like the T site is just going to abrupt into this hit. Good God. And that's how quick you need to be to try to be ready for the fight. Wow. Colin just taking over now. These ecos don't mean crap. Hunter, though, puts him down with a headshot of his own, but with the bomb planted, and this guy pretty much found on A site and not really having a chance. He's the only one trying to save this team, but there's only so much you can save right now.
Oh, he doesn't quite see that player off the corner of the screen. Maybe a bit of a 4x3 moment, but he does find Cercera. He does it well to find Cercera. It's still a big name on the board. He is currently 8-5. We know that last game he was doing absolutely stellar on the CT side Inferno. But yeah, still Rain Above. It has been the story so far, just absolute annihilation. And they do well here. They are at the 9-1 scoreline, and they might actually do a slightly better half than they done on Inferno at this rate.
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind, 3 rounds was all that Infrablood could muster on Inferno. It might just be worse on Rain Above's map, and I was hoping that a Pug team would be able to meet up to the expectations of the Pug map, but right now, the Puggers are Rain Above. They're feeling fun. They're feeling jivey, especially when one player is celebrating their birthday. They do want to have fun in this competition. Right now, doing the best at it. 4v4, though, there was a kill back in favor. John was able to get that back, but You can imagine that this is going to be a very tough retake here, especially with a very confident T side. However,
In for Blood fighting as hard as they can right now. They are now down to a 2v2 situation, and it's now just down to Cypher with the AWP.
Oh,
and
gotta
he's,
land the jump.
oh man, that jump is so complicated, and he gets found through the smoke. Oh, it's so unfortunate. That is going to be the 10th round going to Raid Above. But yeah, for a moment there, it looked like In for Blood, they were on site. They were getting behind the T's. It was getting really, really tense. It was absolutely a possibility, but yeah, unfortunately, Rain Above, they are just staying so cool even when it starts to get a little hot in the kitchen there.
someone needs to do an edit of that moment where it's like you see the jumps constantly happening, and it's like the D rank. It's like, oh, you go from LE to then MG1 to then Gold Nova 2, and then he falls down silver. I'm
Yeah.
just like, those are, you know, some rookie moments. Maybe the nerves are fully taking him over now, and oh my God, the M249 broken out. However, Hogan with a 3K of his own puts it down, punishes it, make sure to keep them humble for the time being. Sarah
How has this happened?
on the 1v3 now. Got the op. It's usually Dupe who's holding it, but this time Sarah's got to try some magic of his own. Like we mentioned, had a stellar game on Inferno, and this time needs to get a 1v3 to keep it to 11 here. Otherwise, we'd be matching the same scoreline as Inferno. But
Gonna say, if In for Blood, they do win this final round of the half here, they do go 2 for 10 again, and that would be a second half where
Indeed.
obviously Rain Above has quite a large advantage, and it does look like Hogan will close it out with a 4K. Absolutely amazing round from him. A little bit confusing seeing an M249 pop up in the kill feed. That was kind of
Yeah.
random, but again, they do well to find that second round there, and hopefully we can see something exciting happen for the T side. The beauty of T side, as much as it isn't really the preferred side for most teams, is something you talk about often is how they can control sort of the pace of the map,
Yes.
right? And you saw Rain Above, they did super well with those really fast, aggressive A hits, and then they switched up by going to more of a middle heavy default, right? And they're just trying to split up these CT players, keep them as confused as possible, make sure that they aren't really sure where those Ts are coming from at any given moment, and they just respond super well to the information they get around the map, and it looks like it's going to be maybe not quite a fast B play, no, a little bit interesting, maybe a missed call there or something that happened, and they decided that
No,
they don't want to do that.
it's a diversion. It's just send 3 decoys out towards B, and one person actually exists. But with that kill, the panty drops. It has to be obvious, especially with having palace control. The A site will be hit, but
And
it'll
look
make it
how
easier.
far one of those players has pushed up in the back. I'm not
Oh
quite
yeah,
sure
this is
who
pretty
that
much
is.
they're boxing him in. You see that box being created from CT to Palace to A main to jungle, and they take out everything. They crunch it together, good old formation, and they clean house. 11-2, Rain Above, making great work of In for Blood.
Absolutely. Rain Above does well to read that situation. They take the space that they need to. As soon as they find that 1B player who's trying to sell the fake, they are like, I'm not so sure. And then they just put the rest of their players towards that A site, and sure enough, there are the rest of the Ts. And yeah, again, we're looking at a very similar situation to the first map there where Rain Above is looking to walk away with it. And now In for Blood, they are, again, on the T side, not that preferred side, and now they're on an economic disadvantage. It looks like this is going to be a round that's just kind of, you know, a giveaway to Rain Above. And so looking forward to the rest of this match, if they want to be competitive, they're really just going to have to find a way to keep winning over and over again.
Yeah,
Because
and
I don't really see them walking away with this one.
No, absolutely not. It should be, oh my God, Jester jumping in, making sure to let it know. Finds himself a 3K on the Deagle. What in the world? Rain Above just making clean work of this matchup for the first match of the Lacey Cup 2. And Rain Above have 10 potential match points here to close it out. But I think it just might need the one. That's what we pretty much said for the last Inferno. But they did, where they were able to get one, but that was all they can muster in this 10-round potential journey for In for Blood. But like we said, let's give the benefit of the doubt. In for Blood are playing arguably the best team in this tournament. And this is pretty much what happens. When you come at the king, you better not miss. But right now, missing on all accounts is In for Blood. Should be clean work to do this, and it looks like it will be done soon enough. Already a 4v3, making sure to dot their I's and cross their T's. Are Rain Above, they're having fun with it. It looks pretty clean work so far, but now it's a little bit of a patient game. They still want to play this potential round win here, but playing it quiet. I don't know if it'll pay off.
In for blood, grasping for whatever they can here. Jester does well to find John. That was a bit of a disadvantage fight for him. It looked like that was going to go to the way of the tees, but now down to a 2v4, and the time is against them. They have only a minute remaining in potentially the final round of regulation for them. And it looks like they are going to try and group up together and maybe head towards this A site here for a final push. Looking at the players on site, they already have one up into the palace position, so that's going to be a really strong spot, but he is backing off now as these players start to slowly creep up. But as you can see, RA, they've been very good about their map control this entire game, and that's just one of the things I think that's let them be so oppressive, is the fact that they are very good at taking that map control when it's given to them. And so Cercera, he does spot out the first player. That call is going to come through. We see the rotates happening already.
Oh, God.
And he does end up finding Hunter.
Oh.
Absolutely amazing. And it's now just down to Hogan in the 1v4.
And looks like it's going to be done. He's just going to have to hope for something through the smoke, but it won't land instead. Dupe gets himself on the double-digit mark. It's done. Rain Above do one better than their former map. 13-2. Rain Above really reigning above in this matchup, really showing what they have in terms of potential for this tournament, and what a start for Rain Above. They're going to feel happy about that, especially with the momentum that they were able to swing with. And so that's going to do it for our first series. We're going to send it to the analyst desk for a quick post-match interview, but we will have our next matchup coming soon.
Hello, everybody, and what an incredible first series from Rain Above. We are joined today with Colin for a post-game interview. Colin, give us your quick thoughts about that match and over how you feel.
It was definitely a good warm-up. We got a qualifier that we got to play later today, so glad we managed to get our DM in. 50 kills aimbots, 50 kills deagle only. We did the 5 window just to make sure we practice fighting people that are just swinging wide in one direction. So yeah, it's a good warm-up.
And we saw, as you mentioned, so many interesting different strats and plays throughout that game. Can you talk a little bit about, like, when you're playing a team, for example, that you don't necessarily have a lot of demos or knowledge on, do you guys kind of just spitball it? Do you go with the flow? Is it, how does it go?
Oh, it's definitely a flow, just kind of feel out what's going on,
Sure.
feel out how they play, and then kind of adapt. In our case, we definitely started to troll a little bit there. Just at that point, we just kind of just see what we can get away with. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like there was never really any doubt, even on like round 3 when In for Blood got that round on you guys on the bonus round on the B hit. It didn't even seem like it phased you guys. Straight into the next round, you basically just ran out and killed them all.
yeah, for sure. I mean, we're just out here to have a good time. So not really worried about anything. It's pretty low pressure.
Yeah.
I
Can you speak a little bit too about your recent VRS placing? A lot of people are probably a bit curious. Going into this LAN, you're the only VRS team, and we wanted to get VRS for this event. Sadly, couldn't. But is this just a for fun event more, or is it something where you are actually trying to seriously get maybe some maps and learn something from this?
I think for us, it's really just about being able to have something to win, I guess, is
Sure.
what we want to have. Like, it just helps like the team mental and the vibe, just to be able to win something, I guess. So for us, even if it's not VRS, it's just valuable to just be able to, get reps in on LAN, feel that pressure, and also just to be able to just get that feeling of winning.
Totally. And one last question, Colin. It's your birthday, and is there any special wish or thing that you want or you desire?
Oh, absolutely. I just want to win LAN.
There we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, Colin, an incredible Series 1 performance from Rain Above. We're going to see you guys in the next series, and we'll join you soon.
Welcome back to the Nostalgia Lacey Cup number 2. And I am Curtin Sales, joined here by Expo. We've
Hello.
got ourselves yet another game, best of 3 going on here as we do get in Sweatstack versus Jackpot.
Yes.
And we're on Sweatstack's pick of Mirage here, joining kind of mid-game here, 5-3. And it is going to be a good one, I'm sure.
Oh, yes. Setting up for an op pick outside B already, it looks like. Oh, and it works out.
Ooh.
Very clean opener.
Good opener. Especially for a T-side that's down by a couple of rounds as well. Getting a good opener like that should help things out a bit. JVW will be pushed up into window, though, and it's going to be Rex who is not spotting that at all. Perps gets one. Quick scope onto W-Dog. Rex going down as well. It's a 2 versus 5 here on the A-bomb site, and Ventek is going to find that kill on NOB. Or NDB, and now it's going to be Jay putting down that bomb. A 4th round teed up here for the T side.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm going to assume it's not a hunt. Their money's not too great. The HP's a little low. I don't think they're going to try and take this AK, so they're probably going to be able to save it over, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, a save definitely makes the most sense. Missaps shouldn't really have too much trouble trying to save it. Like you were saying, the money isn't great. I mean, they are actually kind of hunting for it a little bit. They have taken some of their B-site control, but overall...
As long as the spam doesn't connect, right?
Ooh, maybe it's the spam. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe that's what's going to get him. Oh, he's been tagged. It's getting awkward.
It's going to be close. It's going to be close.
Oh!
He went down.
No.
Last second.
Ah, that's unfortunate.
They are still going to have full rifles, fortunately for them. Beastcat down to $0 now, though.
Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a rough one. I mean, full purchase, though, still. M4, armor, utility. You know, Sweatstack picking up that 4th round, that's going to help them pretty significantly as they're trying to build back into this T side. They've got a decent amount of money now, so even if they do lose out this next round, it shouldn't be the end of the world, but it's going to be the A-Tech that's going to matter the most here. Reducey Rage pushing up on the ramp, has the Galil, trying to make any headshots possible, but overall it is going to be W-Dog just peeking back and forth, committing to the fight, but it's Rage to find the opener.
Wow, that's incredible for Rage to come out ahead there. Miseps is in a very tough spot now. Has to kind of fall back. Meanwhile, on the B site, Beastcat alone at bench. Gets 1. Gets 2.
Ooh. Good double coming out. And even that AWP rotate.
Yep.
Very well done there.
Yeah, and Perp, it's probably going to be a save here, but 50 seconds left in the round. It's a long time.
And even missing the AWP shot. NDB takes that one, and that will be Jackpot onto a 6th here. And Beastcat, 227 damage in that round. MVP with 2 kills in that one. And, you know, NDB on the side of Jackpot is actually kind of leading the top of the scoreboard. As you can see, 12 and 5 at 2.4 KD overall. And you're starting to see it's a pretty heavily tilting, you know, performance in favor of the CT side in this first half. We are in the penultimate round, though, second to last of the first, and it's going to be, looks like it's going to be Sweatstack, at least trying to find something towards B.
Yeah. And Perp's making sure to have that op money for next round, of course. Hopefully we see some fun 1Ds. Whoop. Not quite.
It's quiet.
Pressure on
Very
Beastcat. Perps comes ahead.
Ooh, Rex. Good first shot. Even the follow-up wallbang onto JVW's skull. And here comes the boost up, Rex. Will he be ready?
Oh.
What? Quick scope onto Jay as well. That's 3 for Rex. Wrecking house here in the round. It's going to be W-Dog to find the follow-up, the final kill of the round. And Jackpot. What a play coming out from Rex. 3 in the round. That third flick was dirty.
It was. That was a Modesty type flick right there.
Goodness gracious. you were looking at the first team, you're just going, that's impressive, very well done. Right? And then that, like, just immediately just checking for the smoke. Didn't want to leave nothing to chance. Ooh, he's still going.
Keeping it hot at the start
Still
start of this one. Incredible.
Gotta respect it.
Now Jay taking a turn with the op. Still looks like a bit of a slow focus on mid control.
They are at least considering the idea, and given the lesser weaponry, it makes sense that they want to take it slow as well. They already did lose perps in the opener. Jay's had to kind of recover that AWP. You see it's all the way down towards Horseshoe now, and potentially considering a wrap towards the A site. But
window boost.
And yeah, NDB's got to be a bit careful about this one. He does drop a Molotov, but it's not going to be enough to stop JVW, who's already boosted up top.
Let's see, yep. Sitting in the smoke. I wonder how long they're going to wait this out. Are they going to wait for the window smoke to fade? I think they might.
They're going to wait, but I think mainly here for JVW, he's been left as a lurk to try and cut off the rotations, as it's going to be a bit of a P-pop here. JVW does get one. Rax, Maseps, Beastcat all down, and even NDB as well. This is a good take, but it's cost a lot of bodies, and it's given W-Dog a winnable 1 versus 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it seems like Sweatstack is very aware of this app's possibility. They have eyes on it. What's the op going to post?
Yeah, W-Dog flexing that knife he got for $50 during the crash.
Head spotted. Op takes it.
Good one there coming out from Ventec. Good AWP kill to get at least a 5th round on the board there for Sweatstack. And you know, overall, I think they're not going to be too disappointed with that one. It is just 7-5 half. You're on T-side Mirage. It can be a bit of a tough one. And as we switch sides, it's going to be under Jackpot now to really try and find those advantages. I mean, you're going to be looking at Masaps and NDB to try and continue their strong performances that they did show in the few rounds that we saw in that first half.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll certainly say this game feels like a day and night difference from the Mirage we saw just a little earlier. That one was almost a death match. This one's a lot more measured so far.
Yeah, I mean, was it? I mean, I kind of had to run out, grab some things during that one, but from what I saw at the end, it was looking like a bit of a beatdown in that first series for Rain Above, of course. You know, couple players on that roster are multi-time nostalgia winners, you know, in the Seattle land, and then also the first Lacey Cup. So Rain Above, at least, you know, some of those players looking for the three-peat. Ooh, W-Dog. Goodness gracious, what a shot to kick things off. First headshot going the way of Jackpot.
Yeah, and this flank's coming in pretty quickly here. And Jay gets the pick at ramp. CTs have swarmed the site. Both the T's and Con.
Okay. There's a chance here for Rex. Smoke down. Rex trying to spam on through, but still manages to kill the Ventec. Even the Dink as well. Rex clutches it up again. Another 3-piece here for Sweatstack as they convert a pistol round in their favor. And that is an incredible way to win that out if you're Rex. I mean, 1 versus 3. Not a 1 versus 3, but a 1 versus 2. You get the player through the smoke trying to stick the defuse, and then you hit the Dink on the follow-up. It's about as good as it gets there for a round like that. And now for Jackpot, it's going to be a force buy back. MP9's out, couple of Desert Eagles as well. They're looking to find whatever they can.
And no utility anymore at all. Not even one flash.
You were correct, though. That lack of utility is really going to come back to hurt them in the later round, but maybe not at Perps. Maybe not at Perps keeps hitting headshots like that.
Hold on, there's a chance
Already
for another.
One. Looking for another Weasel to pop through, but it's a Rex. Oh, man. Jackpot's day is just not getting better as you get Rex pulling up doubles like that. Sure, JVW gets at least a trade, but it's quickly answered back there by Beastcat, and a 3 versus 1 after Jade goes down. Ventake Desert Eagle armor, head armor. There's not too much that you can really make of this one, especially when a bomb plant's going down.
Yeah, Rex is definitely activated big time in the last few rounds. I want to say, when we first popped into this match, Rex was near the bottom of the scoreboard. And yeah, now Rex is all the way tied for the top with MBQ. NDB, sorry, what am I doing?
All good happens to the best of us. And, you know, comparing, if we compare the top 5 to the bottom 5 here in the 10 players that we do have on the server, 4 of the top 5 are all on the Sweatstack roster.
Yeah.
And all of them, apart from Beastcat, are over 10 kills. It's a very different situation looking over at Jackpot. JVW only stand out so far at 15 and 10. The rest of the squad, they're sitting at 9 kills on purpose, pretty close, not too far behind, but 5 and 6 kills for the rest of the squad. Fortunately, you're going to need a bit more than that if you're going to win this game of Counter-Strike. That's good for 1. And some damage on W-Dog does the follow-up. It's at least a start here on that pistol.
Yeah, and it looks like for now they are just going to play patient, wait out the smokes, not charge through. They really want to try and find some damage here. They need to find a way to get into this game. Perps has made it happen before with the Deagle. Let's see if we can see something again. Rage gets 1. Rage is down, it's just Perps. Not going to happen. Yes, what's that? Sweatstack, take another clean round.
On to double digits. That's
Yeah.
one of the big milestones there. Yeah, I mean, a bit lesser of a milestone, I'd say, given Counter-Strike 2 and that lower round count. But hey, I still think, you know, hitting that 10-digit mark, your double digits, I should say, it's going to help things. You're thinking, all right, it's the final push, right? You just need 2-3 more rounds. And when you're looking at their other side here, Jackpot, you need 8 rounds still in this half if they want a chance here. Now, this is going to be their best option. They've got the AWP in the hands of Perps. We have the M4 around the squad. 4 M4s up, 3 A1s, an A4 on Ventake. And over for the side of Sweatstack, they're playing the AK-47s. This isn't as much of a bonus round as they would have really hoped for. It's going to at least be NDB trying for an opener there from Catwalk.
It's just been an endless barrage of this util at mid. Denying the CTs all control. Ooh,
NDB walking it forward. Taking his time. Rage. Ooh, gonna go down, and NDB still looking for the cap flank, but turns away at just the wrong time. That's going to be 2 now in favor of Jackpot and Perps.
Oh.
Playing from jungle, looking for more here, but Ventic playing under the palace, trying to stay alive, won't for too much longer. Maseps takes it down. It's a 3 versus 3. Perps still alive, but the rotations are coming in. J and JVW getting in a position, and I think here for Sweatstack, they might just be letting this clock burn down just a little bit. Try and make Jackpot sweat.
Yeah, and now the smokes are gone, and I don't believe they have any re-smokes, so they're going to have to go into this site mostly
beautiful.
dry.
Yeah, they've sold it on at least one. I think that's all they can really ask for. They've got Perps looking the other way as well. The only player looking directly towards that A-bomb site is Jay, and Perps has just gone down. Jay's taking damage. JVW is on the rotation, but it's a 3 versus 2 now in the post plant. Maseps going towards Tetris. Make it just JVW. Jay's gone down in the meantime.
Yeah, and this is a rough situation.
It's got to be a save.
I mean, you really don't want to save around like this, but you're right. I think it's really the measured choice, and it's really going to be brutal into this next round. The AK will hopefully give them a little bit of an edge. They can maybe go for an opening duel, get a little bit of aggression, but they were denied any chance for that this round. The mid-util was constant. The window re-smokes, the cat molly, con control. That was all in the control Sweatstack.
Yeah, they very much maintained their presence, but I think just kind of cutting the audio, letting the clock burn down a little bit, it leaves such a sinking feeling if you're Jackpot, especially when you think of the time that's kind of happening. So you're thinking, we got 35 seconds left. They can totally just book it straight to the B-bomb site, get that bomb plant down before we even have an idea. So, you know, it is the smart move. You send JVW just on the rotation back through connector. Just, hey, at least get to underpass and to apartments, listen for audio cues. And now this is the B play I think that they were maybe expecting in the last round. It's going to be 3 players of Sweatstack just barreling it up the apartments.
Boost on Cap might be able to find a pick here, and that is with the AK. Prime to get an opener here. W-Dog's gonna give this fight, I think.
Oh, that timing sets things up. Oh, but it's just the kills going the way of Sweatstack. You know,
Yeah.
it really just came down to W-Dog was about to swing through, was about to take that fight, and then just got pulled over by Perps to connector, who just W-Dog deleted it there. Immediate headshot coming through, and I think that was just enough of a disruption to throw things off for Jackpot, and it's already down to a 4v1.
Yeah, all those trades left Jay on an island at B, and I mean, what do you do at that point? You have no CTs around to help you. You're solo holding, and yeah, Sweatstack gave all the pressure. Now at match point.
Now at match point indeed, and while I don't think anyone's going to be leapfrogging over JVW in this last round, unless W-Dog and NDB are picking up doubles each in this round, in terms of that KD chart, this is feeling like it could very well be map number 1 going the way of the Sweatstack. Going to push out top mid, though. It's 4 players of Jackpot pushing for this control. Maseps will just be kind of hugging close to the smoke. At least wants to try and take his time. NDB, though, has found an opener towards the A site. Rage going to peek up top stairs, but it's already a drop to sandwich from NDB, who finds one. Maseps trading on more. It is just bodies dropping left, right, and center. And it's now left to a 1 versus 2. JVW's gotten 2, but needs 2 more, and W-Dog shuts it down. That will be a 13-5 in favor of the Sweatstack in map number 1. Well done for them, and I mean, hey, they got the map that they wanted, and hey,
they did.
We're on camera now. We made it happen.
Yes. Hello.
We finally got the camera working. A little trip to Best Buy for an extender, but hey, we got there.
Yes.
Overall, fairly good map, I'd say, coming out from the Sweatstack. You know, they looked pretty good. They didn't look like they were rattled in too many scenarios here.
Yeah.
Jackpot, unfortunately, left me desiring just a little bit more.
Yeah, and we're going to send over to the analyst desk now.
Yes, sir, yes.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. And what a amazing match from Sweatstack there. Pretty solid work in the very first map. 13-5 win. It was pretty much dominant, one-sided. You could tell from the last remaining bit of the second half that it was just no chance for Jackpot to even get themselves accordingly dead to rights, pretty much trying to get any sort of rounds there. So you see that Sweatstack made sure to look like the Sweats on Mirage as expected. After all, you would expect that in the most puggiest of maps, the guys named Sweats would be the ones winning that one. So pretty solid stuff. I mean, it was really hard for any openings to be created for Jackpot. Every single time they try to take an engagement, it would be a losing effort already. So it was just really rough for that first map. And so we will see if that second map will have any sort of fortune, which I believe will be Inferno. So another puggy map to try to see if the Sweatstack will clean it out with a 2-0, or will Jackpot try to even things out to send it to map 3? We'll take it to a quick break. When we come back, we'll be on with map number 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. If you're just joining us now, it's Sweatstack and Jackpot take each other in a best of 3 series. It's kind of a round robin, if I'm remembering correctly here. Sweatstack, of course, took map number 1 of Mirage 13-5, and then we're now here on Just 2, the pick of Jackpot. So, actually, no, Jackpot won that one. I'm all screwed up, am I? I don't know.
No, I'm pretty
No,
sure.
it's Sweatstack.
Yeah,
It's Sweatstack. Okay, yeah, no, okay, it's Sweatstack. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. Okay. Just gotta get my head checked. But it is pistol round as we get to round number 1, and a 3-player stack up towards Catwalk on the CT side of Jackpot. Ooh. Already off to a good start there for Jackpot. They gotten 3 kills.
Jump peeking with the dualies is wild. It's a bold move. Mom's in such an unfortunate spot. It's really going to be hard to get this back.
NDB.
Getting brave.
Ooh, good attempt. And yeah, with Rage finding those 2 kills, that's a flawless round. Coming in from Jackpot on the first, I'm sure they're happy to have taken that early pistol, especially after how the end of that last game went.
Yeah. Definitely after that kind of map loss, you just want to get into it real quick. Set the record straight, and hopefully get a good streak going.
And I want to do what you can.
Rex primed to get space at long, it would seem.
Early T-side push for long, and
that.
they're even going
No.
to disregard that smoke as well. Overall, they just want to take some space early, but Jay is here. Does have long range with the M4A1, but only 1 flashbang to really try and delay, and with Ventake rotating over, that scout can at least try and do some damage.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that they're not choosing to just gamble into the long push. I think it's understandable, though. Ooh. They're getting really proactive, though, and this push lower is going to be a bit of a problem here.
This is so smart. I love this. It's Jackpot. They're being proactive. They're taking some different control, but Rage in a bit of trouble here. Drops the nade. It's not going to find any kills. Does do some good damage to W-Dog. Beastcat picks up an M4A1, but it's going to be JVW. Massacre in the lower tunnels. Finds 3. Perps and Jay pick up the last 2, and that's going to be Jackpot onto a second round.
Yeah, the HP got so low for Jackpot there, too. That was scary.
They're in a little bit of trouble dealing with those blocks, but hey, look at that spray. Perfect.
All right, and it looks like Jackpot are actually going to fight for long this time.
I certainly like the idea. It's good to try and take some of the control where you can. Oh, good shot coming out from NDB. That will be a good opener to kick things off, especially when you're looking for that long control and opening kill.
Okay, I thought Jay was going to just walk through that smoke. That would have been
I think
crazy.
he was considering it. He was just like, you stem for it. He's like, where are they? Where are they? Going for it. Looking for that kill. 3-player stack still towards the A-bomb site, and Sweatstack, they might not be ready for this type of play, especially given the proactive nature of the Jackpot CT set. But yeah, they're still readjusting here. Both sides gotta play in their own little game of cat and mouse.
Yeah, they do the fake, but I'm pretty sure Jackpot are seeing through it already. Jay's calling all this info to the team. Tons is cleared, but site's vacant.
Jay does peek around, does catch one. That's Masep's gone. And in the meantime, W-Dog's gotten into mid and just kind of waiting things out here for now. Can have multiple players to deal with. Rage going to be the first. That's W-Dog on 1. Swings around for the second on Jay and sprays it for 3. Perps down, and with JVW to fall, Sweatstack will put up their first round of the game.
Yeah. Great sequence there.
Very well-controlled spray there just to find those 2. And when we're talking about W-Dog, who was a pretty important piece throughout that first map overall, you know, definitely was no slouch. I mean, good to see him continuing on that performance.
Oh, they're just going to lock it. I like it.
Lock in. Gotta do it. Make it happen.
Going uncleared.
Oh! Spicy 180s happening here today at Expo. This is some good stuff.
Yeah, pistol players are getting good damage, but it's not quite close enough.
Unfortunately, they're getting close, but no cigars will be afforded to them. It is just this 5-on-3. Rage will get smoked off, and I think with all this utility kind of coming out at this point in the round, it's just going to be about playing for the exits more than it is playing for the retake. Good AK found, though, by Vente to at least find that kill, and Desert Eagle picks it up, get out of dodge, and just effectively let Sweatstack have the round.
Yeah, and they're going to go for a little more damage here with the 5.7s.
They're playing it close, playing it loose. That's one. And you know what? That might actually be two. W-Dog, 9 HP. Bomb radius is pretty large here on Dust 2. Might go down.
It depends if Rage.
Oh, it took 3!
Oh.
What?
Yeah, I was not expecting 3 to go down there. It goes to show that the bomb radius on this map has just gotten insane from how it used to be on Go.
Dust 2's bomb radius is an absolute travesty. How can you are in the middle of CT spawn. You are almost to long, and you're just going, I'm safe. There's certainly no way I am dying to this bomb, right?
I think...
even the player with 75 HP went down, too.
I want to say it might be possible to take damage from a B plant at long if you're in like the close corner by blue box.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're absolutely right. They really have just upgraded the snot out of that bomb radius and
Very
going into
important
Counter-Strike 2. And we're still talking about it to this day. Here we are 2 years later, and we're still just looking at it just going, why is it that large of a radius? But hey, I guess Valve up in Bellevue just go, it's all right.
They wanted to kill the Jame meta.
No more Jame meta. Ooh. But we're at least going to have a good Rex kill coming through. 3 versus 2, Ventank. We'll just be jumping up. Look at this peek out from long. Ooh. It was Perps not ready for it. Masaps takes it down. 2 versus 2 in the round, and a post plant yet to come. Rax will be putting that down, but Ventank's walking slow up catwalk here. Rax has got an idea of the possibility of this one, though. It's going to be the 1 versus 1. Rax with the flashbang. Dumps it over the top, but nobody spotted. That means 2 different possibilities. Either playing from Catstill or dropping back to Gandalf. It was the former. And Rax finds the kill. It's up to Jay in a 1 versus 2, and follow flashbangs means Rax is going to have that one all day, all night. Sweatstack 3 in a row.
Yeah, very clean. And Maseps getting in the server with a very important kill there on the A player.
Important kills indeed. There's never not an important kill in a game of Counter-Strike.
Well,
that's the beauty of it.
According to rating 3.0, any kills against Eco.
You know what? That's true. Ecos will kill you in that one. That is true. You gotta give some note there. The HLTV 3.0. If you have complaints, just tag Nero on Twitter. I'm sure he won't read it. This is perfect, guys. Come on.
Barrage of utility going out.
Good round coming out from Sweatstack. I mean, first 2 rounds look pretty good for Jackpot, but you're starting to see things, maybe slip a little bit here. You're starting to see things maybe go by the wayside a little bit here. And Sweatstack, that's 4 rounds in a row. And, apart from having that kind of 2 versus 1 round that the 2v2 that they won earlier, it's been very consistently going well for them.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they've had some losses go down to the bomb and, some unfortunate situations like that, the rounds they've been winning, getting into those post-plant scenarios has been very consistently going their way.
Yeah, and it kind of sucks that Perp went empty-handed with that op. Ventank already picked it up, I believe. Oh, but Jay caught out. And I would imagine they just want to save these guns that they have now. They don't have a kit. Is there one down on the ground?
Oh, could be one down on that site. Yeah, good spot of the boost, but it's going to be Masaps just peeking straight up with the AWP. Ventank I imagine you're looking at that situation just going, I'm good. I'm gonna get out of here before it's too late. Save that AWP while I got the chance, although you don't want to stick around too close. That bomb might just take you out on its own. It is a beast of an item right there. Quick scope, but not quite the connection. W-Dog still chasing it down, and it's going to be the W-Dog run up with the M4A1 to put Swat Stack on 5.